All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to talk about Ryan Garcia, who has announced that he is going to be joining or has hired a new trainer, and that trainer is most definitely one of the best trainers in the entire sport of boxing. Derrick James, the current trainer of Errol Spence Jr., Anthony Joshua, Jermell Charlo, Frank Martin. That stable out there in Dallas, Texas is getting mighty full. Now, before I get into the details of it, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you are a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. Really does mean a gigantic difference, makes a gigantic difference in the channel. But before we get into that, I just want to tell you real fast about today's sponsor, the Boxing Showtime app. It's a very useful app that keeps you updated on all things boxing, and you can keep up with the latest fights, where to watch them, the latest news, and a lot more. For any hardcore boxing fan like myself, and most likely all of y'all, I would definitely recommend downloading it. And it also is most definitely a big support to the channel. It's available for both Apple and Android, and you can find the link in the description below. Thanks for considering downloading Boxing Showtime's app. But let's get back into the subject matter of the video. Here we go. Javonte Davis just got done on April 22nd beating Ryan Garcia in a fight that I think can be fairly called a one-sided fight, where Javonte Davis knocks Ryan Garcia down in the second round, then comes back and knocks Ryan Garcia out in either the 6th or 7th round with a very nasty body shot to the liver, and ended one of the biggest and best fights, or one of the biggest fights that we've had in boxing in the last several years. And however, a lot of questions lingered or sort of swimming around Ryan Garcia and what Ryan Garcia was going to do after that fight took place, because of the behavior of Oscar De La Hoya, Bernard Hopkins, and trainer Joe Goosen, who all abandoned Ryan Garcia after the fight took place and did not show up to the press conference. The only people that were at the press conference were the father and the mother of Ryan Garcia, and also Eric Gomez, who I do believe is the CEO or the president of Golden Boy Promotions. But the faces of Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins, did not show up. Neither did the trainer, the main guy in the corner, Joe Goosen. After the fight was over, it was known maybe a day or two later that Joe Goosen was going to be fired by Ryan Garcia. And then speculation began about who it was that Ryan Garcia was going to hire to take his place. Bernard Hopkins had suggested that he go to Ronnie Shields, and believed that Ronnie Shields is the type of guy that would be able to motivate and get Ryan Garcia to train in the manner that he needs to train, to prepare to take advantage of his, what I believe is considerable talent and also considerable marketing appeal, by making him a much more disciplined fighter, or encouraging him to be a much more disciplined person in the preparation of the fights. That is pretty much the same thing that took place with Anthony Joshua, when Anthony Joshua decided to leave Robert Garcia, and then also hired Derrick James for his to train him. Derrick James had, I think, a successful outing with Anthony Joshua in the fight that he just had against Jermaine Franklin that took place maybe about a month ago. And obviously, he's done an excellent job with Jermell Charlo when Jermell Charlo felt like Ronnie Shields was not, didn't have enough time to focus on both he and Jermall Charlo at the same time. So this is something that makes a lot of sense for Ryan Garcia. However, I will tell you that Derrick James, although he is a very, very, very good trainer and somebody that has been very successful, obviously the biggest success that he's had is developing Errol Spence Jr. from an amateur, also getting 3 belts in the welterweight division, getting 4 belts or the undisputed titles with Jermell Charlo, and in a very underrated accomplishment, an up-and-coming fighter in Frank Martin, who I think is rising to the top of the ranks in the 135-pound division. I think that is just a good decision for him. And also, it would mean that Ryan Garcia would have somebody to be able to train with, presumably in the same weight class as him, and that being Frank Martin himself. So I think that definitely in that particular weight division, he can get some spectacular sparring. I don't know whether or not he's big enough really to get in the ring with Errol Spence, but seeing as to spar with Errol Spence and to work with Errol Spence, but seeing as Errol is at 147 and Ryan Garcia is at 140, I don't think that would really be too much out of the question. Interestingly enough, for Derrick James, he will now have competitive or big name fighters in every division from 135 pounds all the way up to 154 pounds in Frank Martin. Some people may say Frank Martin's not a big name fighter yet, but that's not really how I see it. I mean, I think that he will be. I think he's a top level fighter, but at the same time, he's a top level fighter and a top contender. Then you have at 140 pounds Ryan Garcia, who I don't think at this point in time is a top-notch 140 pounder, but seeing as he very well may get a shot at Rolly Romero in his next fight, hey man, he may wind up being a titleist before you know it. And then obviously you've got Errol Spence Jr. at 147 and Jermell Charlo at 154. So anyway, just interesting news, man. We'll see what happens with Ryan and whether it winds up being a good thing. This was reported a couple days ago, but now it's been confirmed by Ryan Garcia as he made the announcement that that's the case. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.